It was just a year and a half ago that we were selecting Denzel Mims with our second round pick, and I was so excited. This guy is fast, he is tall, he seems like everything you would want in a wide receiver, and now we're starting to hear that teams are making calls about getting Denzel Mims. So I have to ask, should the Jets trade Denzel Mims? Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we will be live Monday night with the Jets X Factor guys, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And then Tuesday, our Talking Jets panel with me, O'Leary, and Greenbean. So make sure you tune into that 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock as well and ask us all your Jet-related questions. But let's jump in to today's topic of the day. And that is Denzel Mims and what should the Jets do with him? It was being speculated or reported by SNY that the Jets have repeatedly turned away calls from teams regarding Denzel Mims in terms of a trade. And this has me all sorts of feeling away. I don't like this. I want Mims on this team. I don't want to trade Mims. I do not want to trade Denzel Mims. Let me get that point across. Don't want to trade Denzel Mims. How have we gotten here after just a year and a half and making this guy a second-round selection? And it's very, very frustrating. And I'm going to walk you through how I envision this whole scenario kind of playing out. So, previous regime, Adam Gase, different offense. You take Denzel Mims, you think he's going to be a piece that fits into that style of offense. Now you go into this new year, you get a new head coach, a new offensive scheme, and you have a new set of wide receiver needs that you're kind of looking at. And then that's kind of where I think this started. And then if you're Denzel Mims, you're probably irritated. We've heard rumors that he's irritated with everything going on. But going into the season, you're thinking, hey, I'm the guy. And then the Jets go out and they sign Keelan Cole. They go out and they sign Corey Davis. They go out and they draft Elijah Moore higher in the second round than you were taking. So there's three receivers that are brought in after you're thinking you're going to be the guy. Then you wind up getting sick from food poisoning from the food at our own damn facility. And then you have to miss some time. So now, not only are you battling with three other wide receivers that have come in this season, but you're also behind the eight ball because you don't have the playbook and you don't have the ability to practice like the other guys do. So you're behind there as well. So that's where I think this frustration is all coming in and why Mims isn't seeing the field, because it's just a harder offense to learn when you're way behind all the other competition and guys. So that's where I sort of see this being. And now, last week, we see Denzel Mims inactive. I haven't looked, but I'm sure he's going to be inactive for this week as well. And it's super frustrating as a Jet fan because you have a 6'3", 4.3 speed receiver in your arsenal that you can't find a way to get on the field. And this is just burning me up as a Jet fan. I don't like it. Free Mims. Let him get on the field. I don't care if he makes a mistake, he runs the wrong route. Let's just try to figure it out. Athlete, get him on the field. Ugh. Now let's talk a little bit about what teams would potentially want to be trading for Denzel Mims, or teams that I could see trading for him, or what we could get back in return here. And now you spent a second-round pick on this guy just 2 years ago, year and a half ago, 2 drafts ago. So basically he has 3 years left on his deal at a total of about $3 million. So he's a really cheap option right now. When I'm looking at this, I want to get at least a second-round pick back, but being that the Jets are not using him and he hasn't really shown the ability to flash quite the way you would probably want a second-round pick to flash, I don't know if you're getting a second-round pick back. And that's where my frustration kind of lies. So let's play this game. If the Jets were to possibly trade Denzel Mims, here are 3 teams that I think could be in the wheelhouse that could be looking to get this done. And one, is going to get Jet fans a little fired up, and that is the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule was his former head coach at Baylor. Obviously, there's a connection there. He likes the wide receiver. I would hate to see this because not only do you have Sam down there and Robbie, you'd have Mims, you'd have all the other Jets that are there. What would have been our head coach and Matt Rule. That would be that would just burn me up. I really, really don't want to see this. Not to mention the Jets don't have a second-round pick because they already got the Panthers' second-round pick. So at best, you're talking a third-round pick for Mims, and probably would have to add some other stuff for me to really pull the trigger on this. But that's an area that, maybe Rule wants to get his guy back. Now, they do have plenty of wide receiver options and weapon options, so Not necessarily a surefire bet, but, given the rule connection, I think it's a possibility. The next one for me, if we're not going to be able to get the draft picks like I think we wouldn't be able to get based on everything going on, I would be looking for a player. And when I'm looking at this system and this team in general, the area of need that strikes me the most on offense is tight end. So tight end would be the position, if I were to trade Denzel Mims, that I would be looking to acquire. And I want someone younger with high upside. And I went across the league. I got two in mind for me that I think would make a lot of sense. One, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You trade Mims to the opposite conference. They already have Brate, Gronk, and Howard on their roster. So I would be looking at O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard, he's 27 years old. He's in the final year of his deal, 1 year, $6 million. He's only been targeted, but I think he's only been in for 14 snaps this year. And I think he only has one target. This is a guy that I thought the Jets could have possibly went after in that Jamal Adams draft. He wound up falling a little bit further than a lot of people thought. But he seems like he's criminally underused, and I think the Jets could possibly get a lot of value out of him. So that's an area that I could see the Jets possibly going with O.J. Howard, trying to, move on. The Bucs have a logjam at the position. That's really what it is. And I think there's an opportunity to possibly get a really good tight end for a player that you're unable to use and get on the field. So I don't know. I guess there's that. The second player that I'd be looking at is from our own conference, the Cleveland Browns, and that's David Njoku. He's 25 years old, has 1 year left on his deal. He's 1 year, $6 million as well, so a little bit younger. This is the area I would look. I would look O.J. Howard, David Njoku. You get one of these two tight ends in here if you had to go after it. Now, the Jets have a ton of picks. Don't get me wrong. I still don't want to trade Denzel Mims. We have so many picks. We could go get a tight end next year. We have so much money. We can go out and get a tight end like one of these two guys after the season without having to give up a receiver that's on a really cheap contract that has a really high upside. This feels like more of a rant than like an actual put together video. But yes, these are the options that we have sort of found ourselves in and what I'm kind of thinking about. So one, don't want to trade Denzel Mims, but the teams that I could see trying to call the Jets for Mims, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think this is a ploy to get the more value out of Mims? Turn him away so that way they grow fonder? Will Mims be a Jet wide receiver at the trade deadline, or does he get moved? What happens? What happens with Denzel Mims? Where do we go from here? This is so frustrating. I'm not a happy fan right now. I just want to sit back and watch the game, and I just want to see Mims play. Guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and as always, go Jets.